If you're still tilling your soil and mixing manure deep into your beds, you're probably slowing your plants down without realizing it. It feels productive, turning the soil, blending everything in. But that one habit is quietly disrupting root growth, locking up nutrients, and breaking the biological system your plants depend on. I used to do the same thing. I'd till, add manure, mix it thoroughly and expect faster growth, but what I actually got was inconsistency. Some plants would take off, others would stall, and I kept chasing the problem with more inputs. The turning point came when I stopped focusing on mixing everything in and started controlling how organic matter breaks down before it even reaches the soil. That's where a small shift made a big impact. I began pre-processing organic waste using a compact system, the 4-liter electric composter, and I'll leave the exact one I use in the description if you want to check it out. It solved a problem that's easy to overlook, adding material that's still unstable. Instead of burying raw waste and letting it interfere with soil biology, I started feeding my soil something it could actually use immediately. And once I combined that with a layered manure approach instead of tilling, growth didn't just improve, it became predictable. Here's why tilling and mixing manure is holding your garden back. When you till, you're not just loosening soil, you're breaking apart fungal networks, exposing microbes to conditions they're not adapted to, and collapsing the natural structure that roots rely on. Then you add manure into that disturbed system, and things get even more unstable. Microbes go into overdrive trying to break it down, pulling nitrogen from the soil in the process. That nitrogen is supposed to feed your plants, but instead it gets tied up temporarily. This is why you'll often see plants struggling right after soil preparation. Leaves lose color, growth slows, and the garden feels like it's stuck in place. In one of my raised beds, I tested this directly. I tilled half the bed and layered the other half without disturbing the soil. Same crops, same watering, same light. The difference showed up within weeks. The tilled side looked uneven and stressed. The layered side was steady, with stronger early growth. The layered manure method changes how nutrients move through your soil. Instead of mixing everything into one unstable zone, layering allows nutrients to move gradually and naturally. The method is simple, but the impact is huge. You start with a base layer of carbon-rich material, dry leaves, shredded cardboard, or straw. Around 1 to 2 inches is enough. This acts as a buffer, balancing the nitrogen in manure and preventing sudden microbial spikes. On top of that, you add a thin layer of manure or processed organic matter. Keep it light, about 1/2 inch. This is where most people go wrong. More is not better here. Then you add a light cover, either another thin carbon layer or a dusting of soil, just enough to stabilize moisture and keep everything in place, and then you don't touch it. So why does this method lead to faster growth instead of, a slower recovery? Well, when manure is layered rather than buried, decomposition happens in a controlled, oxygen-rich environment. That means nutrients are released steadily instead of all at once. Roots don't avoid the area. They actually grow right into it. In one of my container setups, I switched from mixing compost into the soil to layering it on top. And within just about 2 weeks, the difference in root development was obvious. Plants were anchoring better, absorbing water more efficiently, and pushing out new growth faster. The key here is consistency. You're not creating a shock to the system. You're feeding it in a way it can handle. There's a timing advantage most gardeners completely miss. When you bury manure, you're honestly just guessing when it will be ready. Sometimes it's too early, sometimes too late. Either way, your plants pay the price. With layering, timing becomes much more predictable. Because the material is exposed to oxygen and processed gradually, it reaches a usable state much faster.
And if you're using pre-processed organic inputs, that timeline shortens even more. This is actually one of the reasons I moved away from traditional compost piles for day-to-day feeding. They work, sure, but they're slow and inconsistent unless managed perfectly. Layering gives you control. In raised beds, I apply this method every 2 to 3 weeks during the growing season. A half-inch layer of processed material, followed by a light carbon cover, is enough to keep the system active without overwhelming it. In containers, I scale it down. A 1/4 inch is usually sufficient. Containers are more sensitive, so you want to avoid overloading them. For larger in-ground gardens, especially those that have been tilled heavily in the past, I start with a slightly thicker carbon base to rebuild structure. Then I maintain it with smaller, consistent layers. And here's something that surprised me when I first tested it. You actually end up doing less work over time. When you stop tilling and start layering, the soil begins to manage itself. Earthworms move in and start mixing organic matter naturally. Microbial life stabilizes. Soil structure improves without mechanical intervention. In one of my beds, I went from needing to loosen soil every season to not touching it at all. The soil stayed crumbly, well aerated and easy to plant into. This is what most gardeners are trying to achieve without even realizing it. They keep working the soil harder when the solution is to interfere less. This is where most people lose patience and go back to old habits. Layering doesn't give you that immediate visual satisfaction of freshly turned soil. It looks simple, almost too simple, but the results show up where it matters, in plant performance. If you give it a few weeks and pay attention to growth patterns, leaf color, and root development, the difference becomes clear, and once you see that, it's hard to go back to tilling. There's also a hidden benefit in nutrient retention. When manure is buried, nutrients can leach away or become locked in zones roots can't access. With layering, nutrients are held closer to the surface and released gradually. This reduces waste and makes your inputs more effective. In practical terms, that means you can use less material and still get better results. If your goal is faster growth, this is the shift that matters. A lot of gardeners try to speed up growth by adding more fertilizer or watering more frequently, but if the soil system isn't stable, those efforts don't translate into real results. Faster growth comes from consistency, not intensity. Layering manure properly creates that consistency. It keeps nutrients available, supports microbial life, and allows roots to grow without resistance. This is what separates productive gardens from frustrating ones. The difference isn't always in what you add, it's in how you apply it. Tilling and mixing manure feels productive, but it often creates more problems than it solves. Layering, on the other hand, works with the natural processes that make soil productive. It's a quieter approach, but it delivers stronger results. If you're serious about improving your garden, this is worth testing in even a small section of your space. And if you're into practical, experience-based gardening like this, subscribe to the channel. There's a lot more to cover when it comes to soil biology, plant response, and methods that actually work. Because once you understand how to manage your soil instead of forcing it, everything else in your garden starts to fall into place.